Hello everybody. In continuation of my previous lecture, I am going to discuss the implementation of the program. So, as I told that the concept of prior to concept of classes, we have the concept of structure in C. So here you can see one program which is open. Here I am trying to create a structure rectangle. So this rectangle is defining two properties, length and width, and which this structure has a reference in main method by RT. This is a reference. The rectangle is referred by RT as a reference variable, and we are trying to read the value of length and width by using this reference only. And finally, we are calculating the area, and this area gets printed. So here you can see that only the structure length and width is declared. We are not defining any kind of function for calculating the area. Instead this area is calculated inside the main only. So here this is the concept of structure in C, but the same concept we are going to use for creating the classes, for creating the object of rectangle by using the classes in C++, Java and Python. So you can see here, just let me use the workspace. It is going to take time, some time, it will be a little bit. Okay, so this is the program. This is the program which is written in C++ for the same rectangle. So here I am creating a class rectangle. Prior to this, in C we are including stdio. Instead of stdio, here in C++ we are including IO stream, input output stream, for cin and cout functions, which is defined inside IO stream. And apart from this, we are using the namespace std. This namespace, these cout and cin functions can be used by this std because they are the part of IO stream. So we use it along with std so that there should not be any conflict. So you can use it something like this also. So what does it tell is that this cout was already defined here inside this IO stream, and again we are going to use this cout definition here in this class rectangle. So while accessing the cout, the compiler will not get any conflict by using it with namespace as std. So here what I am trying to do is, I have created a class rectangle with these two variables, properties, length and width, and we have taken one function, set dimension. See, this function is having access specifier as public, means it can be publicly accessed by any of the other classes. So this length and width, which is taken here as a parameter, is assigned to this global variable declared at the class level. So whatever the value I will be passing here set inside this set dimension, For example, here see inside the main I am passing here 7 and 4. So this 7 and 4 will be copied to the length and breadth. So this length and breadth is multiplied for calculating the area, and this area I am calling here and printing it to the console. So what happens here is this set dimension was used for accepting these two parameters and passing it to the global variables. Finally, we are having another method, that is get area, which is calculating the area, and we are having constructor. This is a default constructor. Constructor is having the same name with the class name. So if a function which is declared, which is defined by the same name of the class, then that will be the constructor. Constructor will not have any return types. See, here we are having void return type, integer return type, but this constructor will not have any return type, and there can have three different types of constructor in C++. There can be a copy constructor, there can be a default constructor, there can be parametric constructor. So this is a default constructor. If I would have passed any parameters inside this constructor, then there will be a parametric constructor. If I pass a constructor inside a constructor, then that will be a copy constructor. So I will see it in detail in my coming lectures. So here, if there is a constructor, there is also a destructor in C++. Even in Java and Python also there are destructors, because once the object is created, it takes memory space inside the compiler. So sometimes we need to explicitly destroy these objects, or in other languages compiler does this job automatically, but in C++ we have to destroy the objects explicitly. So here this tilde operator is used for destructor. It is a destructor for this constructor. So it will destroy the object of the rectangle. So here what I have done is I have created a reference of this rectangle. Now with the help of this reference, we are passing this parameter inside this method, and this area gets calculated, and finally we are getting the output. So you can see the output of this class. Sorry. Let me compile it. This is getting compiled. Yeah, with 0, 0 warning. Now let me see the output. Control F11 for seeing the output. So what happens? Yeah. So this is what. So it is printing the Python program, but I want this to be executed. So wait a minute. Okay. Yeah. So here we can see this, while creating this object, constructor will be called. Inside the main, once the control goes over here, it will be calling the constructor. So the first it will be printed. Next, after it passes the input to this set dimension and calculates the area. So the area will be printed, the area of rectangle, and finally destructor gets called. So distant to this. So this is what happening in C++ language. Similar to this, we have created another program of Java where you can see more similarity. Here also, instead of include IO stream, we are importing here java.io. So instead of include, here we are importing a Java library, that is input output library, and all the package, all the classes which is stored inside this IO stream, IO package. So here I'm having the same class as rectangle with two different parameters. The method name is same, void set dimension, but here I am not using any column with this public specifier, so I am writing directly public void, so it makes something simple, because we are avoiding column over here as we were using in C++ language. Here we are using column. So in Java we need not to use any column with access specifiers, and we are doing the same job as I was doing there in C++. So rest is the same. The get area calculation is also the same. This is the constructor rectangle we are using, and we are printing this constructor with the help of system.out.println, and there I was using cout for printing this. So here instead of cout we are using in Java system.out.println. Rectangle is same. So system is a class. Inside that class there is a object out, and this object is accessing the println function which is defined inside this system class. System is a inner class, and for destructor we are having one method which is defined inside the Java, that is finalize. So this finalize, what it will do is it will mark all the objects which need to be destroyed. It will not finally destroy the object, only it will mark all those objects which are there inside the JVM memory, that is heap. A particular memory location is JVM, that is heap, where all the objects are created, and those objects which are need to be destroyed will be marked by using this finalize method. So here what we are doing is we are creating the object, and object in Java is created by the new keyword like this. We are creating rectangle RT new rectangle. So when this will be created, my constructor will get called. So here this constructor will get called, and after that the same thing we are doing as we were doing in the C++, and we are printing the area by using the system.out.println, and finally we are calling this finalize, because once my job is over, I want my all the objects which are stored inside the heap to be marked for garbagely collected. This GC method will collect all those objects which is marked for the purpose of destroy, but it will not be destroyed. So we need to mark the object as null. So this is what happening in Java language. It is pretty simple, and it is almost similar as the C++. So here we are having this concept, and the same concept. So here if we are going to run this one, so what happens? See this constructor gets called while creating this object. Then after it is printing the area. Then after it is printing this, while calling the finalize, it is printing the destructor. Finally, it gets complete. So C++ and Java, there is some difference also that I will discuss. Now in Python, if you see the same program, so there the same program here is in Python. So we are having the class rectangle. So instead of using curly braces, we use colon over here. So this colon is simply the curly braces as we had seen in other programming languages like C++ and Java and C. So here we are having this input function which is primarily for taking the value from the keyboard, and since this is a string which is typecasted into integer and assigned to variable a, the same thing is happening over here also. The same function is used for taking another value from the keyboard and it is assigned to the another variable b. So here we are having another function, say dimension, as we had seen in the other programs of Java and C++. This set dimension is a function. So here we are declaring the function by defining the function by the def keyword, which is inside the Python compiler, and we do not have any return type over here. So we need not to declare any return type. Based on the runtime value, the return type will automatically decided. So here we are not using any return type, and inside this we are passing two parameters. These are the parameters which we are taking from the keyboard, and this cell is used for the constructor. So these values will be assigned to this function with the help of this constructor. So and here what I am doing is we are assigning this value passed over here. This is the A and B, which is passed here to this global variable. Sorry, this value A and B is these values, which is mapped with this value. So finally, so here also we are having another function def, that is area. We are passing to constructor, and we are calculating the area by using multiplication of these two variables, and these variables can be accessed, these values can be accessed inside this function by using this constructor only. So this cell, the self over here is same as we are using the this keyword in Java language. So here we are returning the value, since if that is a number, so multiplication of these two variables will be number. So this function is returning me a number. So here we are creating this default constructor of this rectangle and assigning it to object obj, and by using this obj we are calling this set dimension function. So the function here in Python is called with the help of object and trying to access these two variables with the help of the object only. And here we are printing these two objects, the values of these two objects, and here we are printing the area of rectangle by calling this area method. Here we need not to put any semicolon. Semicolon in other languages like Java and C++ we use for the termination of the statement, but here we do not use any semicolon. So next line if you are writing, that is the termination itself. And one more thing here we have to keep in mind, that here we keep in mind about the indentation. So here this is inside the class scope, because this is the class rectangle. Sorry. Okay. So this is the class rectangle over here. So this A, B and these two functions are within the scope declaration of this rectangle, and this object is for the whole class. So and this print is for the whole class. So this here we have put one indentation, but here we need not to put indentation. So if we do like this, not putting any indentation, it will give me error. Like see, this is expecting indentation. So I need to do the indentation, and then after it will be a correct program. Let's run this program. So it is taking some time. It is asking me to enter the length of the rectangle. So I am entering 20, and for this I am entering 10. Yes, I am getting the area of this rectangle as 200. That's fine. That's fine. So this was my program. So here we have another program written in Python. So I put it the whole as a comment. So this has marks will act as the comment for Python programming, and if I want to comment the whole code, I can type Control Shift and 4. For uncommenting this, Control and 5. So it will uncomment the program. So here I have uncommented the another part of the program. So here we have designed another class rectangle one with constructor. So this one is the constructor. Constructor is defined with the init keyword with pre and post underscore symbol, and here these are the two parameters which I am passing, and it will be accessed to the self, and by using this self we are initializing these two variables, and the area also we are calculating as we had calculated in the as above, which is now commented. And this del is used for the destructor, like in C++ and Java we are having the destructor. So here also we are using the destructor with the help of del, which can be called. So here the same as we had done earlier in above. So we are trying to read two values from the keyboard and assigning it to these two different variables, and finally we are calling the object over here, and then after we are printing the area of the object, and finally we are calling the destructor to delete the object. So let's see what happens for this program. So after running this program, yeah, it is asking for the area. So I will give here length of the rectangle 12 and width as 20. So it is area of rectangle 240. Finally we call it destructor, and it is printing rectangle delete. Okay. So this one it is calling. Now see, suppose if I push this one just above to this print statement. Now this object area, it will not be able to read the area. Okay, so let's try to run this now. What happens? See, since the object created is deleted, so it won't be able to reach to the area. So let's give it 30, then after 20. Yeah. So object is not defined because object is already deleted. So the beauty of this program is that up to this destructor call, rectangle deleted, and see, up to here it is running fine. It is taking two values from the keyboard. Here it is all okay. Even it is all okay, it is calling this destructor, but here it fails. So this is where the interpreter comes. So interpreter runs this program line by line, and finally it gives the error where the exactly errors arise. So the programmer has the ability to find that where the exactly error is, and it can be easily trashed out. So it is not as we are having C++ and Java, which is compiler based language. First needs to be compiled. So the error can be trashed only after when the program is totally correct. So here we can trace the error at the time of interpretation, and if there is any error, the whole program runs successfully. Only the error part is printed if there is error. So this was the program which you have seen, and here is inside the single file rectangle we can run the two different classes. So this class is above and this class is below. The both classes can be written inside a single file, and if you run, the both classes will be executed. But this cannot be done in C++ and Java. So let's run these two classes files and they both will run. So here it will run the first previous class. So here I am passing the value 12, then again 20. So I am getting this one 240. Again it is asking for another class, enter the length of the rectangle. So here I am entering 30. For the next I am entering 20. But it will give me the error because I am calling this delete just prior to this one. So it will give me the error. So this is what happens in the Python. The beauty of this Python is that you can write multiple classes inside a single file, and it is very easy to type and very easy to understand. The code is not very complex. It is in few lines you can write big things, and you need not to be worried about the data types. It will be automatically taking data types, and you need not to be worried about the brasses. Everything, only you have to take care about the indentation, which is very easy if you are using any editor such kind of like Eclipse and other editors, Spider and JetBrains. So here this one is completed. Next thing, I am coming to over here for this C program. So here it was giving me error. So this set dimension method, it is declared outside the class, and the return type of this was void. So here since it is void and ID before void. Okay. Okay. So I guess so declaring this void just prior to this for this set dimension, it solves the error, and the program can be compiled. This program is already built. So we can then run this program. So it is giving me the output. So finally we can see that in C++, either we can define the function within the scope of the class, or we can declare the function inside the class. The same way, declaring the function inside the class, we need not to declare the function outside the class as in C language, but here we can declare the function as a prototype inside the class, and we can define the body of the function as a member function outside the class by this scope resolution operator, by giving a label to the class, and the return type we define prior to this class. So this method is returning void, and it is a member of this class, and it uses this scope resolution operator to tell that this method is a member of this class, and rest thing is the same. So hope that you have understood today for creation of this constructor, destructor and ordinary functions. These are the ordinary functions which is defined inside the languages. So today it was a comparison of C, C++, Java and Python language. Hope that this will be a useful session for you. Thank you. Happy learning.